power that holds the world together. It is the language spoken beyond borders, beyond race, and beyond fears. When voices shout and fists rise, understanding dares to listen. And in that simple human act, wars can be silenced and peace can be born. Honorable Chairperson of today's program, Chief Guest, esteemed panel of judges, principals, directors, and representatives of different schools, my fellow competitor friends, and all the ladies and gentlemen who have joined us for this auspicious occasion, a very heartfelt greeting to us all of you. Today, I, Anmol Karki, from Highland English Secondary School, stand in front of you to deliver a short speech on the theme of the power of understanding, fostering global peace. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say it straight. The world is burning, not just from war and climate, but from division, from hatred, from rising refusal to simply understanding each other. In a time where we scroll faster than we listen, tweet faster than we think, and shout louder than we feel, we have forgotten the greatest potential, the greatest power we possess: understanding. Understanding doesn't mean that you have to agree to someone or agree to everything that they say. It just means that you have to accept their humanity, and that's where peace begins. It is easy to argue and easy to judge, but it takes real courage to stop and say, I don't know what it's like to be you, but I want to. That's how peace is born, through understanding. Understanding is required to bring global peace to the world, because global peace won't be built in one giant moment, but it will be built in everyday ones. So next time you see a different person from you, a person who thinks different from you, a person who argues, who votes different from you, speak with them, not to argue, but to try and understand. Because when you choose curiosity over contempt and dialogue over diversity, you become a warrior of peace. Respected judges, allow me to tell you something powerful. In Rwanda, after 1994 genocide, people who had lost their entire families sat across those who killed them. Why? Not for revenge, but to ask why. To try and understand. And somehow, through grief, through trauma, and through pain, some of them found forgiveness. Not because they forgot, but because they finally understood. That's the power of understanding. It converts blood-stained soils into seeds of unity. It rewires pain into peace. It builds bridges where bombs once failed. So let's start understanding each other. Now, some of you might be thinking, I'm not a prime minister, neither am I the president. I'm not a peacekeeper. What can I do? The answer, my friends, is very simple. Everything. Before we act, before we speak, and before we judge, can't we just try to understand each other? We don't need a title to make an impact. What we need is a heart that listens, a voice that challenges hate, and a mind that questions everything it yet doesn't know. We are not lacking intelligence. We are drowning in it. We have data, we have facts, we have algorithms predicting our every move. What we lack is empathy. What we lack is connection. And what we lack is the willingness to connect. So let's start understanding each other. Peace is not born from treaties that are signed between countries or between peoples, but it is born in the moment we choose to connect with each other, not as strangers, not as statistics, but as humans, and recognize the humanity behind us all. Wars aren't started by weapons, they are started by words, by labels, and by the idea that they are different from us. When we choose to understand each other, we stop seeing them as others and start seeing them as us. Understanding begins with empathy, and empathy is the act of keeping yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing the world through their eyes. It means accepting their fears, their stories, their dreams, and accepting everything and their appearance. Understanding helps to foster global peace. So at last, I leave you all with this. Before we label, start thinking. Before we debate, ask. And before you choose to walk away, choose to understand. Because when we choose to understand, we don't just silence conflict, we prevent it. When we choose to understand, we don't just make peace possible, but we make it inevitable. Let this be a legacy that we leave, a world where peace is not born from treaties, but from the profound connection of human hearts. By that, I would like to end my speech right here, right now. Thank you.